Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back. Today's video is a special video, and if you notice, I reached 100 followers on here, and for that I wanted to do something special, and now I do a question and answer. So before I talk too much in the beginning, let's get started, because I talk too much. All of the questions right now are from Laura. She also asked me if she can be the first question, so yes, you can. But let's get to the next question is, which videos are your favorite to film? And for that I definitely like to film the book journal videos, because I don't need to talk that much. I don't talk in the video by itself. I do the voiceover later, but when I'm filming this I don't need to talk, so this is premium, okay? But what I also like to film are the wrap-ups at the end of the month, because the most of the time I can talk a lot better about a book when I already read it. During Readathons, which is your favorite non-reading activity to do? Eat and sleep. Is there a book with a certain story and certain character that does not exist yet and you love to read? Oh, this is the question. I answered this for the second time now, and I still have not a clue what I want to read. Sometimes I wish more to get a story when the villain wins this whole thing, wins the battle or whatever, and you read after that how everything goes down and how the characters all suffer, and this is really I want something to read. If you could erase one book or author from book history forever, which one would it be? And I go with that with Nevernight from J. Christoph, and I have a pretty well reason for that. First of all, I still have the copy of it. I don't know why. Oops. I think my main problem with this book, with Nevernight, is that J. Christoph thought it will be necessary to have annotation in his own book. And I will say this every time when I talk about this, but it gets so annoying that when, first of all, the annotation was so small, I didn't see this in the first place. This is an arrow type of thing that goes up, and this how you know this won't have an annotation. But the first time when I read this, I overread this, and then there's this big part on the bottom who's printed tinier than the other print, so I need to go back over the text and search for this fucking thing, and when I find it then I read the text, and this is so unnecessary. So I mean, yes, you could count this as world building, but this is the only author I knew that does this in a way like this, and I hate this. Because I think there's a lot better ways to insert this kind of information in a book with questions. I mean, Poppy from Bad & Ashley asks a lot, and it's so annoying, but you get to know the world, and this is something when I first read this, it was like the publisher was to Jay like, you write this whole thing, but I have no fucking clue what's about it, because you don't explain the world. Can you please explain it in your book? And he was like, yeah, but I do the annotation, so I don't have to rewrite this whole book, so you have here now the annotation. And I hate how he writes Mia, the main character of the book. And the point where I stopped reading this book was the point when Mia arrived at this academy. This is no spoiler, because this should be, you know that this is going to happen, okay? I mean, you don't read 3 books in a series when the main character does not get that what she wants in the first place. And when these white cis dude was to her like, yeah, you don't going to be a good assassin because you're ugly and you have small tits and an ugly face, and we need to change that. And so she gets embarrassed in front of the whole class and gets a nose and a boob job, and now she's prettier. And this is so stupid because the best assassins in the world are the one you don't notice. I don't know about assassins because I'm not an assassin, I'm a nurse. But I mean, why you should put someone that is overly pretty, can you say that like that? But it's like this, have this huge tits and is small and have this pretty face, and she just wants to kill you, and everyone remembers her because she's so pretty, and everyone's like, oh, she's pretty. And then she's like, oh wait, the pretty girl was there when the person got murdered. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of stupid, and I hate this. Is there a book that has no movie, TV show adaptation, but you wish it had? No. Because every time a book got a TV or movie adaptation, they did always a bad job at it. So I'm happy with that it's only a book. I mean, if you ask my 15 or 16-year-old self, I would definitely say, yes, everything I read so far is so good. This needs to be a movie or TV adaptation. But now I'm like, it's good like it is. We don't need to change that because, first of all, I'm bad at picturing characters by myself in the head. I need to look up fan arts. But I got always disappointed on how they choose the actor for that, and then they always turn out bad. Not the actor, but the movie adaptation or the TV show adaptation. I mean, Shadowhunters. They had twice chance and they fucked up everything. Twice. Okay, on to the next question. Reading before or after bed? I will definitely say I read the most during the daytime, not right after I go out of bed, but in the middle of the day. Then I try to read something in the bed, but when I go to bed I always fall asleep. So I can read a half a page and then I'm... Which season is your favorite for reading? I would not say that I have a typical favorite season for reading, but I would say on the days when the weather is not that good, I read the most. So during the summertime, when it's really hot outside and I just want to go out and go to swim and some things like that, I don't read that much. So I would say I read less in the summertime, but that depends on how the weather is. I'm a cozy reader. I read all the time. So Sani asked me, what's your favorite 5 books for 2021? And the first one is right here. I would definitely read the whole Heartstopper graphic novels. I binged them all through. But I think the fourth novel is my favorite one. I cried so much while reading this. The Heartstopper series was one of my favorite this year. Then Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I think this book speaks to my soul. I love the story. 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of my favorite books this year. And I can recommend this to everyone to read. So then the next one is Lord of Shadows. This is the second one of the Dark Adaption series, I think, by Cassandra Clare. And I really like this story. I really like Emma and how does he call again? Emma Castells and Julian Blackthorne. These are my favorite couple of all of them that exist in the whole Shadowhunter series, and I cried so many times while reading this book. I mean the whole series, but this one gets me. And then Glassword. I don't know why. This is one of my favorite books this year, but I don't know, if you don't know the Red Queen series, it's about Mare who discovered that she's not a normal girl. She's not like the other ones with the red blood. She has red blood but silver powers. This is the other species that living there in this country that she lives in. I forgot the name, but this first one is really YA. I mean, this whole series is a YA series, so everything is a YA. But she is really in the second book, that's what she make a really dark turn in the story, or the character by herself make a dark turn, and I really enjoyed that. This was fun to read, and it's not like this happy place where everything goes right and everything goes fine, and she has so much luck in the day. So I really enjoyed this one. And then last but not least, A Court of Silver Flames. You can say whatever you want. I hated Nesta in the beginning of the book. In the first 3 books I hated her so much, and while reading this, the hate was still there, but I think after the first 100 pages it take a turn, and then I got surprised in the end, and I really liked the story at the end. I talked about this, I think, in a different video too. I don't remember which one it was, but I really like this whole character development in the story, and how Nesta tries to be a better version of herself, and she finds new friends and trains with them. And this whole journey, I will not say this is the best character journey that exists in the book world. It's okay, this could be even better or something like that, but I really enjoyed this part. I don't necessarily need that fantasy part of it with the mask and something. If you read the book, you know. I just don't want to talk about this that much because this is a huge spoiler if you haven't read the whole Agatha series. But I don't have need that. It was okay that it was there, but this whole situation with her and Cassian, and it was perfection for me. And I think the best part of it was that she found a new family in there, and that she get the realization that family don't need to be blood related or have the same DNA as you. And this is something beautiful that we all need to know, that everyone can be your family. It don't need to be a necessary blood related or DNA related person to you. I mean, Farrah have the same realization when she meets the Night Court, but yeah, we talk about Nesta here, okay? So this was the 5 books. What is the book you would recommend every person read? Oh, I think it depends on how much you read or how far you are into reading, but I would say, I mean, my favorite genre is fantasy, so I can almost only recommend fantasy. I will recommend the Mythos Academy series by Jennifer Estep. I really like this. This was, I think, one of my favorite fantasy series I read when I was a teenager, and I will recommend this to everyone because it's really light. You have this fantasy in there, but it's a light version because this is a YA fantasy book. In the Mythos Academy, there is Gwen. She discovered that she has special powers, and then she goes to a school with a bunch of kids having this special power, and they are related to gods. Gwen goes to the school. She knows that she's special power, but she's really boring. Even the most nerd at the school can do really sick kind of warrior skills, and she has not. She has not that special powers that make her really fast or stronger than anyone. She only has the ability when she touches someone that she knows everyone that this person knows this whole backstory of the person and some things like that. And I think that that is a pretty scary and cool ability, better than being stronger. But so she's this kind of side person that no one likes in the book, and then she discovered something and she wants to try out, wants to figure out what is going on, and then she's the main character. What's your biggest bookish pet peeve? I don't know what to answer about that. This is a question that I struggled with yesterday when I first filmed this, but I would say I hate it. I think it's annoying when people overly hype the book and recommends this to me like this is the best book you have ever read in your entire life. After you finishing this, you will never be the same. And every time I'm like, I don't know. And then I have this high expectation on this book, and then I read it and I'm like, nah, I don't like it. Thank you. So I think this is one. I hope this answered this question correctly, because I don't know what pet peeve is. I Google it like an old lady and say something that annoys me. So I hope I answered this correctly. Your favorite book series ever? I think my favorite book series ever that has a special place in my heart is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This was a book series that bring me back into reading after a couple of years when I'm not reading that much, and I really like this. This has a special place in my heart. Do you ever reread books? Yes, I do. I reread books a lot. I did this quite often when I was younger because I have not the money to buy new books, or there was in the library not new books in there that I could read, so I choose the books that I have already read because this was the best choice. So I will definitely reread again books now, but at the moment I have so many books that I want to read now, new books, that there's no time for rereading. The next question is, which book got you into reading? And I would say there are different kind of books that got me into reading. I think the first really book series that got me into reading was, I mean, of course, Harry Potter. I think like everyone. And then we have a child book series here that called Connie. And this is the name of the girl in the books, and there are few authors who writes a lot of stuff about her. This goes from little tiny books when she was a little girl and 4 or 5 years old to now the teenager with 17 years old. And I really enjoyed that series too. I think this was one of the series that I continued to read till when I was also 17. I think I stopped it at 17 to read. What I also liked was the series by Cassinger. This is Reread, and this is with time travel. So this 16-year-old girl named Gwen, she also called Gwen, discovered that she can travel in time, and then there's this annoying boy, Gideon, who also can travel in time, and they're forced to be partners. And yeah, then she fell in love with the guy, of course. And yeah, this was a fun read when I was 13. And I don't know if you can see this by my coffee, but it looks disgusting. I reread this book thousands of times, and I broke it. I broke it! Did you see it? I broke it. Oh no! Then Janet asked me if I prefer to speak in English or in German, and I can say definitely that I prefer to speak in German. So German is my main language that I learned since I was birthed in this world, and English was something I learned in school. When I was in 5th grade, we need to learn English. I prefer to speak German. This is mainly because 99% of my people around me only speak German, and so this is why I speak all the time German. The only times when I speak English is for the videos on Discord or on Instagram. This is the only time when I speak English, not saying German. But in my private life, in my daily life, when I go to work, speak to my boyfriend, to my family, I speak all the time German. When I have patients, I work as a nurse, non-ICU, and they don't speak German, they normally don't speak English too. This is all the time a different language, but not German or English, so I only speak it here. Other than reading, what do you like to do? I will not say that I had a lot of hobbies, but before COVID hits, I was at a, how do you call this in English? I know how this is called in English, but I can't pronounce it correctly, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm singing at a choir. I still sing in this choir. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is so bad right now. This is really a worse spelling of that.
Choir.
What? Again?
Choir. 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 Choir.
Choir.
Choir.
Choir.
Choir.
Choir. I sing on that, okay? But besides that, I have a lot of hobbies because when you work in different shifts in a day, I have no idea how to build up a good hobby that will fit into this time schedule, because there is no schedule there. I work random, and so I hadn't really a hobby. That's sad. Okay, next questions. What was the last 5-star book you read? The Kingdom of Copper. I gave Kingdom of Copper, the second book of the Travel trilogy, 5 stars. This was all the questions. I hope I did a better job in this than yesterday. Edit so you will notice. But yeah, I hope you have a great time. I hope you have a general great time here. I mean, 100 of you follow me. Thank you. If you want more things to know about me, you can write down a few questions if you want in the comments down below. I will try to do my best and answer them correctly, and doing a better job in spelling choir the next time when I talk about this. But thank you for being there. And if you want to follow me on my social medias, everything is down in the description down below. My Goodreads, Storygraph, I try Storygraph at the moment, and my Instagram. And if you want to follow me here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss a video, I will happy to have you here. And then the Thrillathon starts now. I hope you join, and if not, why not? You have a full week time to read a lot of thrillers. It's my first time, not my first time, but it's my first time hosting one, co-hosting one, and I will read a lot of thrillers. Stay tuned, I will do a vlog about it. So then this was it. I hope you have a great time, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye!